Hi everyone, Petrik here. So my previous video is all about me cutting off some series that I don't want to read anymore. Maybe it's because I have lost interest, or maybe it's because I've read maybe one or two books in the series and they just didn't captivate me enough to continue with the series. And today's video, it will be the opposite of that. I have done this kind of video last year. So last year I did a 10 priority series that I want to start and finish within 2021. Obviously, I didn't manage to complete all of them, but I managed to finish 5. So right now, I want to do the same kind of video. I'm going to mention to you 10 priority series that I want to start and finish within 2022. And these 10 series, all of them are completed, except 2 series, but I'm quite confident that these 2 series will be completed within next year. And additionally, there are 2 other series outside of this rule that I implemented that I'm going to mention at the end of this video. So in total, there will be a total of 12 priority series. 10 of them are series that I haven't started, and 2 of them are series that I have started. And combine all of them, that's about 67 books. And the first series that I want to mention here is the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu. This is a quartet. It was originally a trilogy, but the 3rd book gotten too big at that it has to be separated into 2 books. So the first book is the Grace of Kings, the 2nd book is the Wall of Storms, the 3rd book is the Veiled Throne, and the 4th book is Speaking Bones. This series, it has been in my TBR pile since 2017. So I don't know if some of you know about this. So the reason why I kept on postponing this series is because when I found out about the Dandelion Dynasty, I was already so intrigued by the series. It's an Asian-inspired fantasy series, Asian-inspired epic fantasy series that sounds like everything I'm looking for in an Asian-inspired fantasy. It sounds incredible. But when I found out about the Dandelion Dynasty, I kept on expecting that the 3rd and final book will be released within next year. So I waited until 2018 and then I did the same thing, and it goes on and on and on until this year. So now after multiple delays, Veiled Throne is finally out. Yeah, that's the 3rd book. The 3rd book is out now, and the 4th book, Speaking Bones, will be out next June. I've read 2 of Ken Liu's collection of short stories. They are both incredible. The Paper Menagerie and Other Stories, plus The Hidden Girl and Other Stories. Both of them were incredible. I really love Ken Liu's writing style. I think his writing style is absolutely enchanting, and there were a lot of sentences that I kept on highlighting. I am really looking forward to reading the Dandelion Dynasty, especially after hearing from a lot of people that the 2nd book, The Wall of Storms, is one of the best epic fantasy book out there. So yeah, this is one of my biggest priority series to start and finish within 2022. And then the 2nd priority series I'm going to mention here is the Winternight Trilogy by Katherine. This is a 3-book series. The 1st book is The Bear and the Nightingale, the 2nd book is The Girl in the Tower, and then the 3rd book is The Winter of the Witch. This one, similar to the Dandelion Dynasty, I kept on postponing this, but this is not because the series is delayed. It's not because of that. So the reason why I kept on delaying this is because, well, where I live, there is no snow, right? I live in a tropical country, Indonesia, so there is no snow. It's either super hot or rainy season. That's it. There is no spring, there is no fall, there is no winter. Yeah, even though I really like spring and fall. Those 2 are my favorite weather. But yeah, back to the point. For all these years, I'm kind of preparing the Winternight Trilogy to always be read maybe during winter, maybe in November, December, or January. You know, just kind of like to experience a fake snow or something, fake illusion that I'm actually, well, reading a wintry book, experiencing winter through a fantasy book. That's my thoughts on that. That's my expectation. But, well, life always got busy during November, December, and January. And you know what? This time, I will make sure to do it. I will start The Bear and the Nightingale within January. I will have to do it. I have always been intrigued by this series. A lot of people love this trilogy, and well, pretty much everyone who loved this trilogy mentioned that it's very atmospheric, and I will definitely be able to feel the cold within this trilogy. So yeah, this one is one of my priority series to start and finish within next year. And then the 3rd series that I want to mention here, this is a massive one. This is probably the biggest series, the biggest priority series on this list. And it is The Wars of Light and Shadow by Janny Wurts. So yeah, this is an 11-book series, 11 massive book series. And right now, 10 books are out. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Janny Wurts has mentioned that she's quite confident that the 11th and final book of the series will be released within next year. But do know there is no actual confirmation on this yet. There is no release date on the 11th book yet. But she's quite confident about this, and I'm going to read this one book per month. Yeah, starting maybe from January or maybe February. I'm going to be reading this one book per month. A lot of people have compared this to Malazan Book of the Fallen, even though the content is different. But supposedly, this series has that same massive epic fantasy scope and intricate world building and also massive payoff. And I think that's one of the most important thing in a massive epic fantasy series. The payoff has to be rewarding. It has to be worth it. It has to be worth the journey. That's what I got from Malazan Book of the Fallen, and I'm hoping I will get that from Wars of Light and Shadow, because I have really enjoyed reading to Right Hell's Chasm and also Riftwar Empire Trilogy. So yeah, Wars of Light and Shadow is one of my priority series to start and finish next year. And then the next series is another massive one. It is a 9-book fantasy series. This is a self-published epic fantasy series, and it has been highly praised. It has been so highly praised by the readers. It is the Echoes Saga by Philip Quaintrell. I think that's how to pronounce the name. Take a look at that cover art. Isn't that so gorgeous? The cover art is entirely done by Chris McGrath, and this is, I think, a classic fantasy told with a modern narrative. You know that I am a huge fan. I am a huge fan for that kind of fantasy books, and I am actually quite sad that a lot of traditional publishers have stopped releasing classic fantasy with a modern narrative, just like The Faithful and the Fallen and The Emberblade. I think these kind of fantasy stories will always have a place in readers' heart, and it will definitely always have a place in my heart. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. This series is so highly praised, seriously. Average ratings for this series, whether it's on Amazon or on Goodreads, both of them are insanely high, and that's very promising. Plus, as I said, I really love the cover art and I really like the sound of the series. So yeah, the Echo Saga will definitely be one of my priority series to start and finish next year. And then series number 5 on this list, this is a repetition from last year. So this is The Witcher. Yeah, The Witcher by Sapkowski. This is a 7-book series. The Witcher was one of my priority series to start and finish within this year. But, well, I haven't even read the first book yet. You know how it is. There is a lot of shiny new books, but I kept on getting distracted. There is a lot of new review requests. And, well, yeah, reading mood and TBR pile happens. I have actually read The Last Wish a long time ago, back when I was going to play The Witcher 3. Yeah, I think that was in 2015. But anyway, I have read only The Last Wish, but it's not the entire novel. I have read only the short story The Last Wish. That's it. I read that to give me context on Geralt and Yennefer's relationship. So that's the only story that I have read from Sapkowski, and I haven't read anything else in The Witcher. So this time, especially with The Last Wish, the illustrated edition coming up, once this book arrives in my place, I will start The Witcher immediately. The next priority series that I want to start and finish within next year is a very popular and highly praised sci-fi series. It is the Hyperion Cantos by Dan Simmons. Yeah, this is a classic. This is a classic sci-fi series that has been on my radar, I think, since 2016. For Hyperion Cantos, I have no excuse why I kept on postponing the series. I don't even know why myself. So many readers, so many reviewers I know who have a similar taste as me, they have told me that this is either the best or at least one of the best sci-fi series out there. And I don't know why I kept on postponing this, but this time I'm making sure that I will be reading Hyperion Cantos within next year. I know absolutely nothing about this series. The next priority series that I want to start and finish, this is another epic sci-fi, and this one is a grimdark sci-fi series, and this is The Gap Cycle by Stephen Donaldson. So yeah, this is probably some of you remember, but this was one of my priority series, just like The Witcher, to start and finish within this year. But yeah, I haven't gotten around to reading this. I don't know much about this, but I've heard from a lot of readers that this one is even better than supposedly his most popular fantasy series, The Chronicles of Thomas Covenant. For some reasons, I just don't have any interest in reading Chronicles of the Thomas Covenant. And for The Gap Cycle, I do have interest because I know that some readers who really love Red Rising Saga, which I consider to be maybe the best sci-fi series that I've read so far. Yeah, I consider Red Rising Saga to be, well, very amazing. And I know a few readers on Goodreads who think that way as well. But all of them who have read Red Rising Saga and The Gap Cycle, all of them agreed that The Gap Cycle is a superior series. That is insane. That is insane. I definitely have to read The Gap Cycle because of this. And, well, hopefully this time I will be able to actually get to it, because it's so unfortunate that I wasn't able to get to reading this one within this year. We have 3 more series left on this list, and the next priority series that I want to mention, it is The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. Yes, finally. This one also has been on my radar for quite a while, but this time because I already own the Folio Society edition. This edition has been gifted by so many of my kind friends on BookTube, and I'm truly thankful for it. I'm always thankful for that. It is one of the most prized possessions in my collection of books. And I've heard so many amazing things about Book of the New Sun, and some agreed that it is incredible, some agreed that it is too difficult to comprehend. But I think practically everyone agreed that this is a very complex sci-fi series with a massive payoff. That's what I kept on hearing, and hopefully that is indeed the case. The Book of the New Sun is a 4-book science fantasy series, and well, I'm hoping that I will love this series, because some readers actually told me that this is Dark Souls, or pretty much Soulsborne in literature. That is something that will always got my attention. Praising or comparing something to From Software creation will always get my attention. By the way, I am so excited for Elden Ring. Some of you have asked me whether I'm excited about Elden Ring or not. You have no idea how excited I am. I have been waiting for this one for so long. Hopefully when Elden Ring 2 comes out, I will still be able to focus on reading and reviewing books. Hopefully. Then the next priority series that I want to start and finish with the next year, it is Earthseed Duology by Octavia Butler. I haven't read this series, but I've heard so many amazing things about this series, and practically, well, every book by Octavia Butler. And this is only 2 books long anyway, so this is definitely going into my priority series to start and finish within next year. And then the last priority series on this list, it is the Shattered Sea Trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. Now, I know that this is a YA fantasy series, supposedly a YA fantasy series by Joe Abercrombie, but come on, this is Joe Abercrombie. His YA series probably will feel definitely adult fantasy anyway. And because Joe Abercrombie just recently finished the Age of Mantis Trilogy, we won't be getting any books in the First Law world, or maybe not any books next year. Yeah, we won't be getting any books in the First Law world anytime soon, and I am not going through a year without reading anything by Joe Abercrombie. No, I cannot accept that. So yeah, I will be reading the Shattered Sea Trilogy, and plus, if I successfully read the Shattered Sea Trilogy, it will mean that I'm fully done with reading all of Abercrombie's books, because I've read all the books that is written in the First Law world, but I haven't read this one. This is the only trilogy by Joe Abercrombie that I haven't read. So yeah, the Shattered Sea will be going into my list of priority series to start and finish within next year. So that's 10 priority series that I haven't started and I want to finish within next year. And then there are 2 more series that I want to mention here. The first one is The Legends of the First Empire by Michael J. Sullivan. So for this one, I have read Age of Myth a long time ago, back when it was first published. Now that the series is completed already, I don't have any excuse to postpone reading this any longer. Especially because this year, I just finished reading through the all available books in the Riftwar Chronicles series. I loved it so much. I think it is one of the greatest decisions I've made this year to actually read through the Riftwar Chronicles. And I think I will be reading through Riftwar Revelations again before I embark upon Legends of the First Empire. So yeah, consider Legends of the First Empire one of my priority series to finish within next year. And then the last series, this is the last series I'm going to mention here, and that is Mistborn. Yeah, I will be reading Mistborn from the beginning again, because The Lost Medal, the final book in the Wax and Wind series, which is Mistborn Era 2, is finally coming out next November. Finally! I have been waiting for this since, well, 2016. So that will be 6 years by next year. Lost Medal is my most anticipated book of next year. Without a doubt, this is my most anticipated book. You guys know that Mistborn, the first trilogy, is the most important series that I've read in my life. Without that series, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I will always have a soft spot for everything related to Mistborn. Always. And with the imminent release of The Lost Medal, I plan to read Mistborn from Era 1 until the end of Era 2 next year. So yeah, that's all 10 plus 2 priority series that I want to start and finish within 2022. And I want to know, what do you think about my priority series to start and finish within next year? And have you read any of this, and do you love them? And I'm considering of doing a read along to maybe 1 or 2 series that I just mentioned. Let me know your thoughts on the comment down below. So yeah, that's it for me today. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Let me know your priority series to start and finish within next year. Bye bye.